So, in regards to the Paradix chicken, what me see the government a create one upstore about, why we not fin yam it? Tell me why we not fin yam it? Because me not see one good reason why.
And there's no in the chicken in the fridge, no man, Andrew. I know me not see nobody dead. Man, go cook chicken to the Andrew. Hungry and kill we. No man, I must got any container, man. Hungry and kill we.
So you can see people being paranoid about this chicken, a whole container of chicken washing ashore in Jamaica. After nobody now giving nothing for free. Who's going to feed the poor out of nowhere? Let's just sail this container of chicken to Jamaica, frozen, and have them nyam it. Well, a lot of them have said, so Flo, look into this deeply. It is deeper than what surface meets the eye. And we know how you dig already, so you probably can come up with even more. Well, my people, I've been digging. All I have come up with, some people might be disappointed, some might not be, but this is the truth. Alright? Now, the Agriculture Ministry started warning the public against the chicken that was being looted from the container, the shipping container that washed ashore in Hellshire. First of all, I said to myself, say, Hellshire is a food spot. You know you go over Hellshire, go get some good food and thing and enjoy the little beach, even though the beach are wash away and them kind of something there. So I find it quite suspicious that that chicken just landed in a food place. It's like the chicken I say, open up the container and take way out and rub it down with some seasoning, jerk some away and curry some away and brown stew some away and make some money. Very, very suspicious.
There have been more questions than answers since this chicken container washed up on a beach in Sand Hills, Hellshire, St. Catherine over the weekend. All the authorities revealed was that the ship was en route to the Cayman Islands when the container fell and warned Jamaicans not to consume the product. Now, after days of several theories, answers from the JDF Coast Guard. First, when did the container fall overboard?
Once cargo vessels are entering any port or harbor or traversing in our maritime space, then they have to notify Shipping and Port Authority. Once the situation with the container developed, which is an unplanned incident, the container fell overboard on and around Friday evening.
That was Friday, March 30, so it took about a week to travel to the Hellshire coastline.
I mean, seriously vicious. I start to wonder for the food, you know. It might sound far-fetched, but I wonder for the food that cause all of them something, you know. Cause how Jamaican people get so vicious. I tell you, man. For them. This is Sizzler. Some wrong food are going. I don't know where them get the wrong food. I don't know where them are putting out the food. Well, most people are the cook again. And them not cook. But them go buy food. But the food where them go buy, them call it fast food. That means, say, I don't like some good restaurant where you order the food and you have to wait a little while to get it. Them places, as you order the food, say, just line up in a line, like you're in the army. You just line up in the line and your food just ready fast, quick. Them call it fast food because it kill you quick. Terrible thing I go on. Nobody can tell me nothing. The food have something to do with how the people them behave and how the people them react to one another. The food have something to do with how them look. How the people them look, especially the female them. Especially the female them. People not fat again, you know. People bloated. Yeah, usually you say a fat woman, I say that woman they fat, but them people are not fat again, Rasta, them bloated. Them see some bloater come all over them and them don't even know how to stop it. Because them not have the will and the guts to stop it. Them look upon themselves every day in the mirror And I say them going to do this and them going to do that. And by the time they reach our work, or reach on the road, them forget what them say them did I go do and just bloat, keep bloating, bloaty. We're going to take a break and come forward. Oh, I hear more. We are man with confident lyrics. Take a break and come forward. And look for my WhatsApp, not a while ago, a little while, and the person I say, if me could have say, talk about it today. Well, where the man feel is like more people are listening today than in the night. We'll talk about the monstrosities them where I make them mark all over Kingston. The concrete and steel high-rise building them where them claim now say is making Jamaica look more modern. Like we're gone in we're inch from the first world now because we have these monstrosities. I call them monstrosities because them don't look good. No, I call anybody who know, anybody who responsible for they go ahead to build these things, you know. Wanna make sure, say, the building them are built to specification to how they must build. Because when me see this all over Kingston, if the earthquake really come like an earthquake, you don't want to be trapped up there. Because we see so much earthquake are going now in the country. I think Singapore get one the other day. But the people them we are dead now from earthquake. Is more people are dead now than first time. No. There is a monstrosity that is in front of IRFM. Well, it's not directly in front of IRFM because one side upon Eastwood Park Road and one side there, but you can't sit down in IRFM. Anywhere you go in front of IRFM and see it. You know, say, that no have no aesthetics. It look like some little box, one top of box. And it's tall. No, I don't know if them are built there. I hear some things says this and that. But you have a whole heap of them right now all over Kingston. You have one per Waterloo Avenue there so. This is the tallest building we see in Jamaica. I hope the people them who will look about these things forgive the builders them and the contractors them the go ahead to do these things. Is making sure say the building them is put up according to how building supposed to go. Because we have a way of shortcut this and a shortcut that, and through the money I get big pan way, we start to say, well, we can cut back pan that and cut back pan that. And don't remember say Jamaica is a earthquake-prone country. That idea we hear some earthquake, last year we get some little earthquake and shake, everybody start to pray and start to turn Christian. Everybody start to turn Christian. Now when me a little youth, you know, them tell me say, there was some man a build a building named Tower of Babel. And what happened is that them did go too tall. The building was making too tall that God mix up the language of the people them. So you have different people attack different language. No go so. No go so. Because them building there, where them used to building at them days there, it never reached the height of even a 3-story building in Jamaica. And them tell we say them confuse the earth with the language. So that is why you have Chinese attack. It's not go so foolishness. But the deeper problem is if the building them is built according to how building supposed to build with specifications and this and that. We don't want to hear, and I don't want to even think about it, but my mind gone warp up a certain way. We don't want to hear say one of them building there fall down. Because there one outer Ruthven Road they were just built. The people them get washed out. All them car, water over them car and them something there. Can you imagine if you get stuck on the top floor them and all of these things is going on? Not to mention an earthquake. Earthquake, and that me say. Because some people say, why we MUTA have got to talk about that stuff? I'm so morbid. Yes, yes. Watchman see the danger, and you don't watch it, you don't talk about it. The blood going up on your shoulder, and some learn it. We are calling up on the authorities who is responsible for giving the go-ahead to build those monstrosities all over the Kingston. And I am closely looking at the one that was Waterloo Avenue. Yeah, Waterloo Avenue, the one there. It gone about 20 story. And the one now where them a build right round Dermore Road. So it, apart from it don't look good, and I guess them not ability to make it look good, but them ability to have the money and roll in upon them, it's going to be terrible. If you shortcut the people them, marching or they say it, you know, it's going to be terrible if you shortcut the people them, and then something happen, and then you say, people lose them life because of the shortcut, and then you ask that, yes or no, me say, who say, he say, we say, they say. We're going to go to the news and come forward. News time.
Life in Frankfield on Tuesday. Charged with the murder of 33-year-old Julian Guthrie Williams is Chef Anway Williams. Reports are that at about 12:20 a.m., the couple was at home in Frankfield when a dispute developed. The dispute became physical and the man reportedly used a knife to cut his wife's throat. He then set the house ablaze. Residents removed both Mr. and Mrs. Williams from the burning house. The police and fire department were summoned and the fire was extinguished. The woman was pronounced dead at hospital. The husband surrendered to the police and was charged with arson and murder. He is to appear before the Maypen Parish Court on Thursday, April 17. St. James is seeing a 61% reduction in murders compared to last year. Acting head of the police division, Senior Superintendent Carlos Russell, made the revelation during today's meeting of the parish council. He said so far this year, St. James has recorded 16 murders, 25 fewer than the 41 recorded in the similar period of 2024. In news overseas, two American Airlines jet had a minor collision on the runway at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport in the United States this afternoon. According to the BBC, the Federal Aviation Administration said the wingtip of one aircraft struck another. At least two members of Congress were aboard one of the jets. There is no report of injury. Today's incident came just 3 months after a deadly crash near the airport. On January 29, 67 people died when a military helicopter collided in mid-air with a jetliner as it landed at the same airport. Finally, Tanzania's opposition leader Tundu Lissu has been charged with treason a day after he was arrested following a rally he held in the country. The charge is connected to his nationwide campaign pushing for electoral reform under the slogan, "No reforms, no election." The country is due to go to the polls in October when Lissu is expected to challenge President Samia Suluhu Hassan. BBC reports that when Samia first came to power in 2021, after the death of her predecessor, John Magufuli, she was praised for reversing some of his more authoritarian tendencies. However, she has since been criticized after some opposition members have been targeted with arrests and abductions. Those were the local and international headlines. Major news is next at 5:45. From the IRFM Newsroom, I'm Maish.
You know, that building were in front of Jamaica House. How them get permission to build a building like that in front of Jamaica House? You know, we have demonstration and the police, them tell you can't stand up at 200 yard, them say. You can't stand up 200 yard in front of the or beside the Jamaica House. Meaning say, you have to stay 200 yards away from Jamaica House. That is what them say. That building over there, so. And me watch too much movie. me watch too much movie, you know, but if a man want to do something, him not just go in at the building, them and do something if he want to do something against somebody over Jamaica House. That couldn't happen that couldn't happen nowhere in America. I mean, you can have house, but that the tall building, the Rasta. That the tall building, no one expected a building like that to be in front of Jamaica House. Given what them tell we, so we can't do. Nobody. So I don't know if somebody had tell you foolishness and the police them are back way off because them are say, not really go so, but through we are demonstrate. They must say you can't stand up 200 yards in front of the building. You have to move 200 yards away. So when them have all the monstrosity they know, all over Kingston, everywhere you go you see one, everywhere. All this golden triangle where them used to tell you about. Golden triangle, round a Lady Musgrave, go round to which part, with a road name, road so, where people used to have them nice house. No man building and I look down in your bedroom. You can't ever put on your shirt good if them people now watch you in your bedroom. Because everything just out of yard, you know. Because them build the building them in such a way that you can go 4 different ways and see 4 different places surround that building. That is private people house. And I bet you say them people, they, when them did have build up them house, them never know say a time will come when them not have no privacy. Because I definitely do have no privacy. None. And I don't know how people get permission to do these things. Taking into consideration, say, a whole heap of them people that will live in them area there. A years them live there. Them grandmother come and dead and then take over the yard and the house and live there. And now them come now and as you say, it make them things look away, even though people are say the price of the house gone up because of that. It is the aesthetics. It's the aesthetics we're dealing with. You know, see, you have a nice looking place and you build up a monstrosity in front of it. I don't know how the price gone up. Because you don't see them things there in America.
MUTA,
man. Yeah.
the people in New Kingston did have a case a couple of years ago, you know, where them did bring forward. And that was the same concern where them did have. That them did buy into properties where it's just like some single flat dwelling house. And then people come in and I try to build up multi-story buildings.
How long ago them did I do that? How long ago that?
That was probably 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, man.
Never hear about it. But
yes, man. Them did bring a case to court and all of that, man.
And you know, you know nothing more about the case.
I don't remember the full details of it, but I know say the New Kingston people, them, man, did a protest read.
And you know, you know more about it again.
No.
Well, me I bring it up back. Because if me did live around there, I see them monstrosity go up in front of my yard. Would I pray for night for earthquake building? I hope say it not lick my own. Because it don't look good. Because you have the aesthetics of the area don't warrant you to have a house or a building look like that in the area. You know, see, it just don't look good. You know, see, it don't match, it don't fit. It's almost like a MUTA vibes that go on with them house, or the house them look and all the big the high-rise building them look now. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And now we say, well, I can't do what I say. So the people, the owner for the house, them, they demonstrate, won't it? Well, them should have take up back the demonstration because we see some still a go up now. We see a little place, a little school there, a little kindergarten school. Massive building a go up there, so. It don't even look, you see, all right, you see below, down a Lady Musgrave there, like you go to Hope Road, there, so, like King's House, there, so. All right, you have some building there, you know, where look nice. It's commercial building, but it don't spoil the aesthetics of the area. It don't spoil it. You know, see, it's not like it gone way up, like, how them call again, proven place, and what the corporate area, I can't do them say. We are talking about the business place that were open below Jimmy Cliff Yard. Jimmy Cliff have a yard right at the corner there, so where you go around Lady Musgrave there, so. When you from there, so go down to Thank God It's Friday place. The building them is in accordance with aesthetics. I think one of them are Bunting and Golden proven building, and the next one is where the herb place there. When you look on them thing there, you see say somebody that think how to make the place look different. Don't look like it's it's commercial, but it don't look like a commercial area. But when you go beyond, going down now to Lady Musgrave on the bottom, they call the triangle, the golden triangle. You see one just little at an angle from Jimmy Cliff Yard. And then round the corner now, you see a next one. And it goes on and on. When it got done? When it got done? When it got done? It's not done, you know. Anyway, any little land there right now, a man just buy that, get big money, and just build up one of them something there, and just put people in there, rent it for how much? $20,000, $30,000 a month, and all them here there. It kind of, it not look good. It not look good. It has spoiled the look.
MUTA.
Yes.
All right. So you see, you did mention, you talked now a while ago about them place where you say, all right, them looking harder and all of that and thing. And you did mention before now where you talk about your hopes, the building them when them are put up, the one them where you did mention, I say, boy, that hope that them put them up according to specification and these things.
Yeah.
But otherwise from that, you know, say, I don't know how and thing that work out, but the parish council supposed to have a thing where them have zoning areas, where you have commercial areas, different from residential areas.
Yes,
and then the zoning now also stipulate now how high you can go with buildings and all of them things there within a particular area. So for see it just ad hoc all over the place. So as you say, it don't look good. That means that now you have to probably ask parish council how that go, how the zoning them go and all of them things that, you know, building just a build up anyway.
Well, maybe we should have called Shamara them.
Somebody from the parish council should have been able to explain that to you, man.
Yes.
Them supposed to have a zoning thing in place.
Yeah. Shamara or Vivian, you can do that before 4 o'clock. Please do that before, because we don't have no interview, you know, we just talk about things and things. We're concerned, we annoy me. It's annoying to see what's taking place in Kingston. And this is all about construction is going well, you know. You can see we have the construction thing is booming in Jamaica. Of course, it's a boom. It's a boom because them a fine spot for put a building where the possibility that no building wasn't supposed to go there. But because somebody have somebody or somebody, no, them just overlook that because it look like our money are going to run there. So You know, see, because everything in a Jamaica have a little round the corner business that go on, you know. Yes. But when them call them, the government man, them just turn the other way and look the other way. And who not turn the other way, turn him on. One I'm on them or two I'm on them. And him get something out right and just say, oh, we're not go on do it, man. Me protect that. Me protect that. Yeah, man. It's a terrible thing. All right, look how much land. Look how much land upon King's house. Me I tell you, say, the Governor General don't know certain part of the land there. Never go there yet. Never go there yet. And look how much land there where him now use, him now go to them place there. And not no bill upon it. Nothing at all. Just a open land. Right in front of the Indian embassy there, so. Just a open land there. And when him come out of him could have just come out of the door and yarn and stretch 2 times and go back in. When him come out, him have to drive. When them have the concert, them shaggy concert, them him decide say no want it upon the premises again. Like a theme place. Like a theme place. And a theme place. A whole heap of Governor General come live in there and one king going on Haile Selassie. And really and truly, how the thing look now, it look like, say, as a big open land because the house will take up quarter or 1/10 of the land. Not even 1/10 of the land the house take up. So where am I doing such a big space? What you preserving? What is the government preserving when them have this big, massive piece of land where they have nothing upon it more than dry grass and ackee tree, where if you go pick one ackee dozen, you're going to go in a prison. Because somebody did go to jail for it already. 1 dozen ackee, you would pick. And usually, a whole lot of people usually pick ackee around there, but I just shoot them pick a youth, you know, and decide, they're going to lock him up because he's a trespass and he's a thief.
And all of that are go on MUTA, while everybody else, the little people, them, stack up in some little box beside one another, or on top of one another.
You see where them are below say Lucy, like when you go Lucy, little before you reach the big hotel there, like you go Lucy there. Them have some little back, and them have some now upon the highway. Them have some upon the highway, so I think them, whether a PG pass highway, them change the name. Every day them change the name. Yeah. Some little box. And people them have no land space. Land. Land is power. Jamaican people don't understand that. The richest people them in Jamaica, the reason why them rich is because of how them mass up land. Check all of them. And see if them have just one house over there, so that's where they live. Them have land all over the place. And some of them is not occupied. And then you have the government land, and that's what I talked about last night when we say the government land is our land. But you can't go upon it. Because as you go upon it now, you're going to hear say, you capture land. Like say the land never did capture before. The brethren say, everywhere capture land. So how them come now for to say government land? Which government? Which government? How much people is the government? And now we see the same people them in the house. I buy out the land. The same politician them a buy land. How them get to buy the land? And my land them a sell. And your land them a sell. Who them a sell the land to? Because me not get no money out of it. And most of the people them who did that see them land there from them granny live there. And from them mother live there. Them not get no money out of the land. A thief in land. Look how much money you give whosoever you give to. You never bring none come give me. You never bring none come there. As a matter of fact, you actually run the people them off of the land and I say, a years now them live on the land and capture land. Remember the people them where them go destroy them land over St. Catherine they saw. After the people them buy them block and them this and that to the build up land. Them go over there, go lick it down. Say a capture land.
All right, MUTA.
Yes.
So we have your worship, the mayor for
Worship.
St. Anne's Bay, Mr. Belnavis on the line. I'm going to talk to you about the zoning thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, all right.
Mayor Belnavis.
Yeah, man. I don't know you do. You good?
Mr. Belnavis.
Yeah, man.
I wonder why are you them call?
I don't know. Because you know, Irish in St. Anne is home, you know, so, you know, anything to do with Irish, right there for you.
No, what a Kingston me that talk about.
Oh, well, Kingston. But, you know, all municipalities, including KSAMC, does the same thing, you know.
Yes, okay.
It's just that we don't really have much high rise. But we do have the hotels and so on, which are...
no, but the hotel them not so high rise on St. Anne. Them not high rise.
10 floors. No, not really.
20 floor, 10 floor. Anyway, all right.
Yeah. The high rise. There's some big high rise coming now for Kingston. I think there was one that was just approved the other day for like 25 floors or something like that. Really, some big progress. Yeah.
All right.
We don't have anything over 10 floors on this side.
No, all right. What is the criteria and the criteria in terms of where and how you build these high-rise? Where you build them and how you build them? What was the criteria?
Well, there's special zoning for different areas, you know, so you can drop a high-rise or, for that matter, a multi-story building anywhere. The law was changed recently in KSAMC where you could put in high-rise. That's why a lot of the properties, certain areas of New Kingston and the surrounding New Kingston and Hope Road and those other areas, the property values went up because people started buying up these older homes with big properties, big land space, and putting up high-rise on them because it can now go up and dig the foundation and go down for parking.
Like the one at Waterloo.
Yeah, a couple of them like that. No, it's not just one. And that just creates a whole new development order in Kingston.
All right. So, what them call the Golden Triangle? The Golden Triangle is not exempt again from this massive building?
No, because that is where most of the buildings are going on now. If you notice, in that entire it's only called the Golden Triangle. It's really all residential, and these were all residential.
All residential.
And this was really uptown Jamaica at one point. That's where Michael Manley and all those. Maybe let's talk about things back in the day.
The house around them, and everybody used to go around the third world man. Them used to sit down in that building there when David Ford used to live there and all them there. But there was a time when all of the building them was on one level. Now we have some monstrosity a go up around it, so it now the regulation about that again.
Well, the regulation has changed where you can put up high rise now and so on, because what made those areas so conducive to high rise was that there usually was an older home there, which was kind of ready for demolition anyway. But it had a whole lot of land around it, because back in the day, back in the 40s, 30s, 40s, when Jamaica was very elitist in the sense they had a lot of, houses like that, where there was this nice, like a great house, mini great house, and then you had a whole lot of land, maybe an acre or 2 or 3 around it. And then, all uptown, like up by Avondale and also were just being built, Meadowbrook and all of those areas. That was the new uptown, from the 60s. Because I went to prep school in Kingston. I was born in Vineyard Town. If you know that. And then my grandmother and everybody moved uptown, which at the time was like Reynolds Road, and that was just being developed. Yeah. And Manor Park was just being cut up and all that stuff. So the migration was from downtown Kingston and those areas up to uptown. Yeah. And then that's why everything kind of ran haywire downtown. Because the people moved out, and other set of people moved and rental and so on, and then the whole thing just went downhill from there.
No, but wait, hold on, the sick up in now. This place what them call the Golden Triangle, right? Where you can build certain way, and that gone now. They have no more regulation, but you can do what you want to do around this or now.
But so you can do what you want to do, but certainly you can now put up high-rise and apartment complexes and stuff like that.
You can put up some high-rise being over the other place where they're there all the while.
Right, yes.
So no regulation out there for the people them who did have them house there and they hope say them did have privacy in them bedroom. When a man put up that over your head, you know,
overlooking your home. Yeah, that seems to, it's a contentious issue now because particularly some older folks who are still in the house, or maybe next door you have a high rise next to you and people in your on the 5th floor overlooking your backyard type of thing.
Not only your backyard, your bedroom.
Well, you know, you can also put up a curtain. But the fact is, it exists like that now. Yeah.
All right. The building in front.
Would you answer this? Would you consider that progress in terms of, you know, because it happens worldwide, you know, because even in Miami, I know there are several areas where in Coral Gables and so on, where the older homes have been knocked down to, you know, and then you have you have a small house here and you have a big high rise and a complex next door, you know. Even in Ochi Town, coming closer to home. You know where town center is, right?
Yeah, but you said town. You said town, you know. Where them I don't know is make.
But you have some people who used to live in the town.
No,
so
what may I say?
You have a house next door to a high-rise plaza, and you can stay from the plaza and look right into the man's backyard.
No, you know what I say no, Bridget. Listen to what I say no.
Yeah.
There's no sacredness about nothing again. And that you say, you know, there's no sacredness about it. From a man say a little square around a land, so him have the opportunity now to go build up a high-rise building over your head. Where you will have your house. So what may I say now, there's no regulation now that say, anyway you see a piece of land and you want to build a high-rise on it, try to get the land, you can't build a high-rise on it. That is what you say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the covenants have been changed.
Who changed the covenant? Who changed it?
That was changed by KSMC a few years ago. It could be about 10 years ago.
Just over 10 years ago. All right, let me ask you now.
Maybe a little bit more because I've been here. It's not more than 15 years ago. Not more than 15 years ago. But relatively recent. Yeah, but I'm not on the KSMC. I don't know exactly the time, but I just know that they changed it, and that I know that there was going to be a whole rush on for land, and developers to take advantage of that because there was such a shortage, and there still is a shortage of houses, homestead.
So Jamaica house upon a big piece of land where you have to walk long for reach at the house.
Right.
Nobody can go buy a piece of the land and build on it.
I don't think so.
All right. King's House, the same thing.
Because that on King's House, those but houses back in that neighborhood have rival those two plots of land in terms of houses, you know, so.
No, what may I say, the land there is still, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must ask you now, if the rules gone, if a man decides he want a piece to buy, him now will get piece to buy.
No, it's not. They have to further on. It has to be for sale. And I don't believe government is in the business of selling their homestead and their buildings and so on.
No, who homestead? The government?
No, King's House is owned by the government of Jamaica. That's like
me are the government, man. No, you and me are the government.
Yes, but it's not for sale. It's not for
Why
sale.
Not for sale? Why not for sale? It's a big piece of land and people want a place to live. Yeah. Why not for sale?
Well,
are you telling me about the people that need place to live? I know, you know. So if it's not, why is it not for sale?
It probably is not for sale because then you need to have some iconic places, some landmarks, and some historical places.
No, I never say if you build, I never say you go match down King's House, you know. The land me talk about, the land. When the Governor General no know, him don't know about them land there, round the house. Round at the back there, so I go up the road. Him don't know round there, so. Where the youth did pick the act and them something there. The land me I talk about. When I tell them mash down King's house. Them have preserved the aesthetics and the history of the house.
Yes.
Yes, so what to the land where people want to live on now? Why them can't, why somebody can't go buy a piece of the land?
Well, first of all, you'd have the preservation of the land and the house is what makes the thing what it is. It's not just the house, physical house. You know? It's the whole ambience of the land with the house, the long driveway.
But them doing that now for people who don't have but them doing that now and don't have no regulation for people house where they in a certain area and now them start build up this. So no, there's no reason for them to do that, but you also know there's no regulation because you're a government, you're a private man who own piece of house with a piece of land. And one can't just come now and buy the piece of land near you and build up a high rise there. So, and no, I think about you. Then why you have to think about the land up a King's house when nobody now go up and deal in the past there? Nobody now go up and the governor general do ever walk there, him do ever exercise around there. So, him do ever know if it's around there. Why is it that him part different from everybody else? Him is no king. Him is not a king.
No, he represents the king. But
yeah, but we are going to move from the king.
Maybe. That seems to be the direction.
Why you know something we don't know when you say maybe?
Well, I mean it's not law yet.
Yeah, but it's
discussion and so on. So until such time.
All right, so him is the king of Jamaica. All right, him is the king. Him is the king. Him represent the king. If him represent the king and him live on a piece of land where it's the people them land.
Yeah.
It's the people them piece of land. And the people them know what say, we want somewhere to live, you know. Why him have so much a big piece of land where him don't even know about?
Yeah.
Somebody else live on the land, you know. You know, it's a little house in front of the gate.
Yeah.
You don't know what the house there? You don't come at Kingston. No, but as you go through the gate, by your right, no, by your left, somebody live over there, so you know.
Really? Maybe it's part of the security. Maybe it's the part of the security details.
With security. Me go pick plum over there. Me go pick plum over there.
Yes.
Them have some nice, juicy Jamaican style plum over there, so. And you have them at the back. Where Aki tree there. Where the youth they go to jail because them pick 1 dozen Aki off. You remember that?
I recall that situation.
Yeah, so how come so much land there so? Where him no know, nobody not to match down King's house. We are talking about land. People want somewhere to live, land. And in that area of Woolipa land, but the only reason why I'm not going to move the land, I'll lick down I'll put up skyrider so is because the people them who live there for how much years is not you're not considering it or respect the aesthetics of them house and the value of them house. So you can't build anything beside them house. Then when man decides him go set up a little stall and each up a little stall, that's when I say little orange and thing. They move them. They move them. If you put up a little tarpaulin round the triangle, they move them and say him can't sell the so. So if him can't sell the so, why King's house is a different place? Because the Governor General living there.
Break.
Take a break and come forward.
This is
well,
you pronounce my name. You can have a twist to it.
Bel Navis.
It's Spanish. Bel Navis.
Yeah.
Spanish version.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
The town council them who gave the paper for go ahead to do it. Is there a regulatory body that keep going to these places when it's a bill and check if them are charge change everybody? Like when them do the road. You know, them charge change the road every day. That's why the road them are dig up so. You would like no say the regulators don't or the regulators short the change because of some little under table money. Them say, "Chow, I'm curious to that." You have a regulatory body that do these things, that go around the building them and say,
there is the municipal corporation has a roads and work department, and you have those individuals that work in there. You have the building officer that ensures that the buildings are done according to the specs and the plans and so on, and they conform to all the regulations. And in the same token, they have the works overseers who go around and make sure that the road work that is being done is up to spec and right thickness and gradients and gutters and things of that nature. All the engineering is done. That and there's a team of them that move around, and each councillor has one assigned to him.
Yeah.
And for each area, so they cover the entire municipality or right throughout.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Fully and highly regulated, and also National Work Agency on the main roads. They maintain and they are the regulatory body over the main roads. The municipal corporation deal with the
nobody going at the road thing, not going at the road thing. Make us stick to the building them, because the road
building, as they call them. Mm-hmm.
The road them is not to be spoken of.
Yes. Not until after the Spark program is complete.
JLP, the JLP people not get the thing right. When not get it right, open make road. Anyway, hear me as now, because this is vital to the reason I know.
Yes.
If all right, there was a building right. I don't know if you know them place in Eli, right at South Avenue and Waterloo Road. There's a building that was there. It's an apartment building.
Yes, I'm familiar with that building.
The owner did bill and
that's a high-rise building.
Eh?
That's a high-rise. I think it's one of the first high-rise to go up in Kingston.
All right, but this was not. I wouldn't even call it a high-rise. Like him was build another story upon one story. If you want to call it high-rise, right at the corner, man. Right at the stoplight corner. Yeah. Black man, him did own his plaza, where them called plaza yet, Him did run the plaza. All right, let me ask you now. Yeah. Them tell him say must knock it down. Because the regulations say him can't build a building like that, right? So.
Okay.
And when you go in at New Kingston, him have one in there. And New Kingston, him did have one inside so, and him tell him say it have to knock down because him can't build that there so. You have any idea why them not tell him say, especially upon South Avenue where it's him own the place and him build another building. What could be the reason why them not tell him say can't do this so?
Well, I'm not familiar with that particular building, but I can tell you generally. Usually, if the municipal corporation goes to that extent where they can knock it down, first of all, it has to go through the courts. Right, and the courts will determine if the building should be knocked down or not knocked down, or other things to be done in the interim. Well, that's what I'm saying. That is the death sentence. You have to go through court first. And then
so you don't know. You don't know the idea. You don't know why it happened. Why them knocked it down.
No, I'm not familiar with the actual situation. But it was knocked down. It was certainly after all. They had gone to court, and because the court would have to rule that they get knocked down. So they would have gone through the process of and do course of law. So the individual who owns the property will have his day in court and indicate why he must have had some breach or several breaches severe enough. Because usually if there's a breach, they try to do if the person is brought to the municipal corporation, there's a breach and so on, we try to do an as-built plan. If there's no plan, sometimes people build without plan and say, well, look, you already reached this far. If you pay up the penalties and pay up the fees and so on, we can do an as-built plan and we submit it, and if everything is okay, you can continue to build and make sure that it's conformed. That is one aspect. Sometimes people put in plans that they say they're doing 3 bedrooms. When you check it out, it's 5 bedrooms. Sometimes the bedrooms are supposed to be 15 by 15, and you check it out, it's 20 by 15. things of that nature. So they don't conform to what they put in, because you know that you put in for a certain square foot, you pay for that square foot. So sometimes they put it just to circumvent the fees, one, or sometimes they just change their mind. Because sometimes when people build something, they say, boy, you know, I never realized that the 10 by 10 so small. Because people have no perception of what. Right. So when they go in there and say, boy, carry the wall up a little more, give me some more space. I don't realize that you have to make an amendment to the plan. So with our good intentions, they make those I call them minor changes, not realizing that it affects the whole structure.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons. But usually when they tell you to knock it down, it's like you go through your court day in court, and you know the judge said, "Well, we find you guilty, death sentence for you." You know, type of thing. So
let me ask that question. Last question I'm gonna ask, you know, because people want land. Philip, the government choose to build some little box, some matches box, and give them. Right. People them want land. Land out there like wow.
Yeah.
If you drive on the highway, you see land where nobody not occupy.
40% of the population squat, you know. But I tell you, people that take the land.
Yeah. So the government land, not our land.
I hear you.
No, I ask you, is that the answer? Yes or no? Not a yes or no answer that.
Well, it's not a yes or no answer. But what I will say is that people are already exercising that quote-unquote right. Because you'll see, I mean, invariably, when you look along the hillsides and right even in St. Anne, right throughout, a lot of the areas are already quote-unquote captured on them. People's moving and start building on them.
Yeah, but if a hotel man come and decides they want to build a hotel on the same land, the people have to move.
What they usually try and do, what I do as a mayor of St. Anne, is I try to see how it is that we can regularize some of these people, or if somebody wants some land, that is, if people are squatting on land that is someone wants the utility of it now, and I say, boy, it's 20 people on the answer, and I say, all right, can you find somewhere to put them, or try in a humane way? Because they're already there. Sometimes they're there for 20, 30, sometimes
30 years, them they're there.
Yeah. So they say, all right, how can we regularize or shift these people? And then I said, tell you what, why don't you just give them that piece of land in the corner, and then you take 99% of the land. The 1% to put everybody over there and whatever. And we've done that. And everybody in the day, they eventually get their little title and so on. They can carry to the bank and get loans off and so on. They know what a landowner. They might not be a big piece of land, but at least they have something.
Land we are talking about no, a big piece
I
of
know
land,
specifically in Great Pond, right in the middle of Ocherous. People were on those lands for generations, and somebody bought the land, and the guy decided to put up a whole complex, and I was the lawyer for the people, and I said, tell you what, this is a little part on the gradient there where you're not going to build. Just put them there, and then you have all the land for yourself, and
well, you know, my experience,
and it worked out for a win-win situation.
Yeah, but you know, my experience with people who come to me about this thing, is that them a live on the land for years, and government come and say, it's government land, and if they want to say that, they might have to go pay taxes or do something, but them can't stay upon the land.
Yes.
But the government not using the land.
Right.
So why is it that you would see a family after 30 odd years, they on a piece of land, and then now you have to mark off and see them go pay taxes? Where that good for?
Well, if they want them to pay taxes, that means that they will be giving them the land, because you only can pay taxes on something that you own. So that
they know the people them own the land.
Right. So
why them pay taxes? Who them pay the taxes to?
So the people were paying taxes on it.
No, them want the people to pay tax on the land.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So if they want them to pay taxes on the land, that means that they're essentially giving them the land, because you only can pay taxes on something that you own.
Then the people them own the land. Watch out. If I had the government,
yes,
and a piece of land over there, so I said the people is the government, and I am part of that so-called people, and I go up on the land where the people them own, why should I be paying tax for the land?
Well, if you don't own it, you don't. Nobody can say.
What do you mean not own it? What do you mean nobody not own it?
No, but if you only own it when you have a title for it and you start paying taxes. That's when you have ownership.
No, what you pay taxes for, or who you pay taxes to?
You pay taxes to the government.
Why?
Because
why you paying taxes to the government for the land?
You would only pay taxes for the land if you own it.
No, why are you? No, if
you have to spend on owning it, because some people pay the taxes on the land, hoping to go through a period of time where they can say, well, they claim on the land.
But why you paying taxes on the land? Is that me ask? So if it's the government own the land and you is part of the government, why you paying taxes on it?
Well, they pay taxes not because it's not about ownership, It's about the government who needs resources to run.
Resources to do what? Resources to do what?
Police, soldiers, nurses.
No, man, you can't tell me say that that's going on Jamaica. Mr. B, you can't tell me say the government that take the tax off of the land, for the land where them people them done thief already from we. Yeah. And through me go live on it now, you tell me must go pay taxes for the land where them thief from me. Anyway, we have to move themselves. We have to move.
Interesting conversation. So.
We have to move. Oh, you electric car, man. I hope you're not a Tesla I have,
No, I don't like the Tesla business. Yeah. But I will tell you, the hybrid is the best thing on the road now because you can use less.
China that.
That one is German, but I tell you, then control that electric market now.
Yeah.
Control
China.
it. Yeah.
China. Yeah, well, you know, the man leaked down how much tariff on them yesterday.
Yeah, I noticed.
Him all on them with the tariff. But I don't know anyway. Anyway, give thanks, Bridging. Give thanks.
We should talk about the tariff one day.
No, the land me want to talk about. And how people have to pay for land where them they don't own generations and generations. And them have pay for land and give government tax for land. And do them not see no benefit of the tax when them get the tax for the land. Anyway, we're going, Give thanks.
Respect.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
April 21st, it's fun in the...
Okay, Professor John Lindo.
Yeah, man.
Hey there, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Yeah, me there, man. Me never know say dengue and chicken gun are still about the place.
Yeah, them about but not so much in Jamaica, right? And we dengue is a fluid disease, right? It come in a wave. And how dengue happen is that we get an epidemic, like I think in the last one was 2019, remember? And after that, no, it died. Everybody get exposed, people get immune, so it dead out, right? Okay. And then new children born and come up now, them now have no antibodies, them now no defense, and them go and build up in the numbers. So the infection build up in the population again and spike another epidemic. So we get another wave of disease.
So in the year 22, which was done, you did have a portion of youth who catch dengue.
Right. The last dengue epidemic was kind of interesting because we, up at university, we watch it hard, right? Man of studies and all kind of thing. But the people don't get the dengue, but them not get sick. And we don't know why. They not get severely ill. Man get a little fever and flu-like still not going to work and so what. It's serious illness where we expect to see, we never see it. So
why you think cause that? Why you think that is happening?
I don't know. That's why you in the immunology I try to figure it out. And we're not so sure what is it that causes it.
But you have to go sure, because you're going to go start give them things where them not really need to get.
No, man, we not know. Well, they have some dengue vaccine where they might develop, but we know. It's still a trial phase, and we're not part of the trials. So we're not getting about the vaccine. So we're thankful to the last whatever dengue we get, we could have managed it just by supportive therapy, you know. And make sure you're hydrated and you take some medicine, not aspirin that will thin your blood and make it get worse and so on. So we're arguing about it, not really no one.
All right. So let me ask you now. What caused this thing, you know? What caused dengue?
Dengue is caused by a virus. So this whole thing already where you know, we have a whole focus on viruses. And not only we, but the whole world. This COVID thing I kind of shake up people. But long before COVID, we were dealing with viruses in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. As we said, dengue a fluid thing, it happened all the time. Then when chikungunya come in about 2014, these diseases come through travel. So a man have it from somewhere, land of Jamaica, just like COVID. But the focus of this meeting we had is those that are spread by mosquitoes. So mosquito bite somebody and spread it, and then we get chikungunya. A virus is a virus that run through the whole population.
So what is the difference between dengue and chikungunya?
Two different viruses cause them, man. In the same kind of class, what we call arboviruses are arthropod-borne viruses, which means a mosquito transmit them. So chikungunya, yellow fever, Zika, dengue, all of them, mosquito transmit them. And these mosquitoes are very important vector for all of these diseases, what we call arboviruses. Just so say mosquito virus them.
Yeah.
And the thing about chikungunya now is when it comes to Jamaica, because we have a finite population, by the time it infects everybody just get immune to it.
Yeah.
It can't find a new people to infect and it dead out.
Dead out. Yeah.
But over in Brazil and them, man, what happened to them is that them have bigger population for one, and also them have more wildlife where the virus can hide out at the wildlife and come back in the human population after a while. And to be honest, MUTA, one of the things where really cause this whole heap of viral illness now is how we treat the environment and how we encroach on the forest and so on.
That's it too.
Yeah, because virus in the forest and mosquito transmitted to different animals, monkeys, rats, and other rodents, and so on. And is when we go into the forest, chop down tree. I mean, although it's not a virus, one of the interesting things I always find is that in Indonesia, the man in chop down one whole piece of forest and plant palm oil for people rub on their face and rubbing on their hair and pear palm tree. And then they buck up a new malaria species where it never affect human beings and start affect humans and bring it out.
Wow.
That is the kind of simplistic thing for the stories to them, because the COVID thing kind of puzzle people, including myself, because, in COVID buck out, they said the same thing.
But wait, the COVID, we're not going to talk about the COVID. You say if a whole heap of people get it, it's eventually dead.
Right.
So all the COVID, I'm for COVID too. Like the more
but that is why I think we end the COVID pandemic. We have a whole heap of people who are resistant to the virus now. However, the thing with COVID, it was a very novel virus. We body never seen it before.
Okay.
So we know we immune system are really primed to deal with it, and it was knocking down too much away. You know. So that was it.
So which part of COVID there? So no, where there?
Well,
like
COVID,
Ghana, Germany, France, Belgium.
No, man. COVID is no what you call endemic. So it is being circulated at low levels. See, just like influenza, because flu, it just circulates at low levels, and the important thing now is to keep your eye out on it. You have to make sure that you have surveillance system that can pick up patients with it. I'm not calling patients because patients are sick people and they're not necessarily sick. So you want a surveillance system that can pick up the infection in the population and see if the numbers are go up or they must stay steady. And if the numbers are go up, you have to ask yourself some question. Has the thing mutated so it will go have a new form now that will go shoot off again? See? Or something else. So the surveillance is very, very important for all these viral diseases. And the WHO, for example, have a really good surveillance system for influenza. So that because influenza they kill off whole heap of man in 1918. They kill off more man than the World War I and things there.
So how you tell the difference? All right. If everybody have dengue and chikungunya and them something, say the surveillance where you have.
Yeah, man. So here
the difference between the COVID, dengue, and
yeah, man. Here you go now. Here what we do it now. A man come to the hospital and him just feel mash up. Him have a fever, him have flu-like symptoms. I'm going to work. Him just feel mash up. See him?
Yeah.
So we can the doctor in the accident and emergency and so take a look on him and say, boy, that man like can't dengue. So then draw some blood and then send it over to the lab where we work, and we run it through some machine and try to detect the call it the DNA for simplicity for these viruses. Now all of them are DNA, some of them are RNA, but we're not into that. Just we try to detect the genetic makeup of the virus. And we say, okay, that man have dengue. But there are 4 different types of dengue. We have machine can tell you if a dengue 1, 2, 3, 4. See?
Yeah.
But about some time now, when the man them say they come over the lab, the man them say, boy, looking for a patient, be sure the man has dengue. When they reach over the lab, we don't find no dengue. So we say, all right. Whenever Zika rally back, we check him for Zika. Sometimes we're negative. Then we check him for chikungunya. Yellow fever broke out down our place now. In South America, Colombia and places, the numbers are go up. So all these things we keep in mind. We keep in mind West Nile virus. We keep in mind things like with not a virus cause, like leptospirosis, because just looking by a patient, they can't tell. They have to wait for the lab result. See? Sometimes when the lab can't find.
So by the time you find out the lab result, the man gonna infect a whole heap of people long time.
Yeah, but we did it pretty quickly.
What's a quick way you mean? Like,
I know we can't run through that in a week.
But that no can affect thousands of people.
True, because if a man walk on a mosquito bite, the man a bite next man and a bite in wife.
Yeah. Whole heap of people that and them going a bus. You might go in a bus and all them something there.
Yeah. So we take this thing where we call surveillance very seriously. Now we even got as far as ask a question that is this a new virus? Because we are looking for new virus too, because we don't know when one of them will just pop up. You understand? So we say, okay, boy, we can't, the lab can't find nothing in this manner. Is it that the man have a new virus or the man have a new dengue? For example, if the dengue mutates and the lab test now find what is wrong with him. And that's when we get now, we use a technique called next generation sequencing. It's kind of expensive and so what it with well worth it. It can look at known and unknown sequences of DNA. I call it DNA for simplicity.
Yeah.
And we can say, right, we never seen this sequence before. Yeah. And so, we have to look out for it.
All right, so let me ask you now. The dengue, COVID, chikungunya, what is it that you can do if you find yourself with those symptoms? What you can do?
you can. Well, first thing what I like you to do is seek some kind of medical care. You know, there's no kind of vaccine for dengue right now, which is commonly used. So we're not going to go vaccinate anybody. But you try to keep yourself hydrated. You try to treat the symptoms, you know, with dengue, you get high fever, you get giant pain, you get pain behind your eyes, and so on. So, but I think what we try to do is tell people so you treat those symptoms. You treat the headache, but when you take painkillers, we say, keep away from aspirin, because if aspirin is a blood thinner and will make it worse, make you get what is called dengue hemorrhagic fever. I think I'm renaming it severe dengue these days. So you don't do that. You try to maintain fluid, so you try to remain hydrated as best as possible.
So you said the thing is, when you say hydrate, you talk about drink only for liquid, that you say?
Yeah, man. Especially
water.
Water, coconut water.
Coconut water, yeah. Preferable coconut water.
Yeah, so you treat the symptoms, yeah.
Yeah. All right, you think so we're ready for our next outbreak of disease where we hear about afloat all over the place? You think we're ready for it?
No. We're not ready for it.
If you say so, no, I'm going to lock up now, I'm going to come out, you know.
No, man, you have to come on road, man. No, man, let me tell you why we're not ready for it. What I think we're not ready for is several things. If some of the lessons we learned from the last COVID business is not what we know, but what we don't know. For example, the man is still puzzled why we never have more deaths in Africa, right? We don't know. So we don't know that. We also, there's all of a controversy on the kind of social side. For example, a youth will work with me, say, Prof, I'm not taking a vaccine, you know. I say, why not taking a vaccine? He say, I want to develop vaccine in 6 weeks or in 8 weeks. So, I say, because we have some new technique now, man. Yeah. And the man say, no, man, I'm not put no vaccine on my body. But what am I going to tell the man about it? I can't tell the man that he can't force him to take the vaccine. So, for prepare for the next epidemic, we have to address that kind of issue in terms of the people understand the science. Because science is not supposed to be for me. I'm abridging them by publishing a journal. Science is supposed to be for everybody. And we have to use opportunities to make people understand what is it that we do and why we do it. And so a man would be far more susceptible to say, okay, wear a mask. You say, all right, man, me wear a mask because I understand how disease spread through respiratory droplets. As opposed to a man who don't know nothing about that, he's telling him to wear a mask and a mask uncomfortable and, you know. So there's a lot of work to be done in terms of preparing for the next epidemic. We are getting the left side not too bad, but the human side we not get so good.
All right, sir. All right, well, if me catch it, me go come to you, you know.
Yeah.
I come to you.
Yeah, man.
Come to you, say me go stay in my yard, I say me must stay in there.
No, man, not stay in the yard, man.
So if me come out there and catch it, and you, me go blame.
No, man, go to the door, catch it and get something, get some immunity. Yeah, all right.
All right, sir.
Right.
Anyway,
Everything.
thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Dr. John. Right, yeah, doctor, you're a professor. Which one of them?
A professor, man.
Okay. All right, Professor.
Anyway, the last thing I have to say to you, my sister buy your first book appointment give me now you many years ago.
Oh yeah, you read it yet?
As we Africans say, many rains ago she buy that book to give me. But we can't find it. Later.
You can't get it back for buy, man. You can't get it back for buy.
All right.
Yeah, all right, sir. Give thanks.
All right, cool. All right,
Yeah, that was Professor John Lindo talking about these Olipa dengue and chicken gonorrhea and all these things where them about the place are threatening me. Take a break and come forward.
Make a plan to stay on top of your mouth.
This one.
Controversy following Coffee's absence from the Thanksgiving service, given the vital role Cocoa Tea played in the launch of her career. So when RFM asked why she was not in attendance, Coffee's team responded, "We never got any information pertaining to the funeral, none whatsoever." When we indicated that details of the funeral were aired on RFM on Friday, April 4, Coffee's team indicated that they learned of this after the fact. When we asked whether Coffee had tried to reach out to the family to find out when and where the funeral would be, her team further responded, "We have no connection with his family and no one reached out to us. We only heard what's happening from the ground. We wanted to attend as well, but clearly it wasn't to be." The Thanksgiving service was held, and that was well attended rather, by the reggae community, with several celebrities including Shabba Ranks, Wayne Wonder, Bugle, Nesbeth, Richie Stevens and others were present, but Coffee was noticeably absent, evoking criticisms on social media. So the legendary reggae singer was said to be the first person to introduce the Toast hitmaker to a stage and played a key role in her development as an artist. Cocoa Tea, widely viewed as a cultural ambassador for reggae music, died on March 11, 2025 in Florida after ailing for some time. A day later, March 12, Coffee posted a tribute on her Instagram with two photos of herself and Coffee smiling, and of course herself and Cocoa Tea rather smiling and embracing, with the caption, "RIP to a legend." So once again, there's still a lot of persons questioning why the reggae singer was absent from Cocoa Tea's funeral. In all the news, dancehall songstress Chanel Muir is making moves with her latest project. The EP, of course, Echoes of Her, which was released recently. So the 6-track compilation features highly anticipated single Secured, also already and of course doing well, we understand, according to industry insiders. A standout moment from the Echoes of Her comes with this guy's collaboration with, of course, Chronic Law, with production helm by Damage Music alongside contribution from Shab Don. Muir announcement comes at a pivotal time for the dancehall music as it relates to her new project, which of course we continue to see dominance in the Jamaica music scene as it relates to the market, with 1.6 billion on-demand streams on dancehall tracks globally in 2024. So tracks like Next Flight, Tell Me, and Conflict of Interest suggest a blend of different kind of vulnerability as it relates to empowerment and so on. So of course, Echoes of Her has the potential to be one of the most significant dancehall releases, of course, since the starting of the year. Sounding good indeed. Great project. Over there in the international scene, Tony Braxton and Birdman are married and have been for 8 months, though it seems the honeymoon period was pretty rough. So according to documents obtained by TMZ, Tony and Birdman quietly and very secretly obviously tied the knot on August 8, 2024. The wedding date is mentioned in the divorce documents Tony filed 2 weeks later. Yeah, that's right. Tony filed divorce documents, of course. And we saw that according to TMZ. The separation was on August 10. But a quick recap, the couple hold a secret wedding ceremony, and then 2 days later, Tony at least says that, they were on the outs and heading for divorce. But here's another twist to it. While it seems that they were headed for a split, Tony dismissed the divorce petition in January 2025 and Birdman signed off on that too. So Birdman initially proposed on February 2018 and shortly after purchased Tony a massive $1 million engagement ring and several other pricey pieces of jewelry, from expensive watches to vintage earrings. But according to what we understand, they're still together. Celebs celebrating their birthdays today.
Female names. Salah. Salah. S-A-L-A. Salah means gentle. Gentle. Engina. Engina. N-G-I-N-A. Engina. Engina means one who served. One who served. Rudo. Rudo, R-U-D-O, Rudo means love. And Muga, M-U-G-A, means mother of all. So that's Sala, S-A-L-A, means gentle. And Gina, N-G-I-N-A, and Gina means one who served. Rudo, R-U-D-O, Rudo means love. And Muga, M-U-G-A, means mother of all. Male name, Omari, God the highest. O-M-A-R-I, Omari means God the highest. Omar, O-M-A-R-R, Omar means long life. Jahai, J-A-H-I, Jahai means dignified. And Malik, M-A-L-E-K, Malik means king. So that's Omari, O-M-A-R-I means God the highest. Omar, O-M-A-R-R, Omar means long life. Jahai, J-A-H-I, Jahai means dignified. And Malik, M-A-L-E-K, Malik means king. African names. I want to hear up Shane Clark. You know, we'll be back here on Sunday. We have a sitting for Matrix. So you can take a stock and tune in. Sunday we play the vintage Jamaican music. Meanwhile, we're there, so.